Tolle trying to end the ball game. A 1-2 pitch. Line drive to base hit into right. So Kirk keeps it going.
He's out.
He is out. How about that?
Brady was playing pretty shallow. This thing was absolutely smoked. We talked about how Kirk really doesn't run great. Brady comes up firing a one-hopper and gets Kirk out.
Wow. Ball game. Well, kind of slowed up a little bit, too. And he has been thrown out. Everybody's smiling for the Red Sox. A home run of the inning to make it 7-1, but it's the only one they get. And the Red Sox have won the first 2 games here in Toronto. Big smile as well for Garrett Crochet as he improves to 18-5.
Well, it's just a perfect game here for the Red Sox. He jumped all over Scherzer. He put 3 up early on. I think Garrett Crochet was absolutely fantastic. 8 scoreless. You take the series, and now you go for that sweep here tomorrow with Brian Bale.
Yeah, you believe me now? I told you. I've been trying to tell you people this for weeks, days, hours. Add them all up. I should have gone in the other direction. Hours, days, and weeks. I've been trying to tell you they can get in. They can still get in. They can win a round. Maybe even 2. And then Roman Anthony comes back. I've been telling you this all along. 617-779-0985 here on the Baseball Hour. Jared Carrabis is in tonight. Before Jared even speaks, let me tell you that he is presented by Blue Moon Light, a light and refreshing citrus wheat beer with only 95 calories, brewed with real tangerine peel for a subtle sweetness and smooth finish, just like
Jared.
Enjoy Blue Moon Light today, 617-779-0985. You already know that the Red Sox won last night, 7-1. The magic number is 1. Had Houston lost today, is that game even over yet, Jimmy, or are they still playing?
I mean, it was 10-1 at last check, so it's pretty much over.
Okay, so I don't know if they've actually recorded the final out, but the Astros are blowing out the homeless A's today, so Houston will stay alive as it relates to a potential playoff spot. But if those of you who still want to talk Red Sox, whether you're upset about some of the things I said yesterday or last night, or you want to fully engage with the team, 617-779-0985. I know that Jared has a specific question as it relates to the club, but before I even get to that, let me just give you the math. Okay, let me give you the math. Houston, and this should make it simple for you. Here's the one reason I would say that if the Red Sox, Jared, can wrap this thing up tonight, they should wrap it up tonight. They have to play Detroit over the weekend, and Detroit's not dead yet. So you don't want a situation where, and you can talk about how well how poorly rather the Tigers are playing, whatever. But you would rather prefer to avoid playing a series with Detroit in which they have to sweep you to get into the playoffs. Because that creates head-to-head, and that's the easiest way to make up 3 grounds. I'm not telling you I think Detroit would win 3 in a row. I'm just saying...
They can't even win 1 in a row.
Okay, but just eliminate the possibility entirely. The Red Sox win tonight, they're in. Right now, the Red Sox have 87 victories. Cleveland has 86. Detroit has 85. Houston will have 85 when this game is over today. If the Red Sox get to 88, which is 1 more win, they will get into the postseason because they will be tied with Houston. The best Houston can do is 88, and the Red Sox win the tiebreaker over the Astros, and that's it. It's over. You get in. 88 wins get you in. I'll spare you all the other scenarios, but that's what you're looking at. And I know that Jared himself had a specific question as it relates to if and when they get in, even tonight, or specifically tonight, where the Red Sox can go from there. So, Jared, what's your question?
I'm going to preface this by saying, let's assume Roman Anthony has played his final game of 2025. Let's just assume that. This is hypothetical hot tub.
Okay.
How far can the Red Sox go as it stands right now without Roman Anthony?
2 rounds.
You think they're done in the division series?
No, I think that they can get to the LCS.
You do?
Oh, I mean, they can win 2 rounds, Yeah, I do. I believe that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so
there's
it. That's if their path is New York and Toronto in some form. I'm probably with you because they've played. I mean, the Yankees suck. Like, let's just be honest.
They can beat both of those teams as is.
They're currently beating the Blue Jays, and they just put Barrios on the IL. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Just went on the IL for 15 days, so it's like that would make him ineligible. I'm assuming for the division series anyway. So he's basically done. But yeah, I mean, Toronto feels for as good as they've been all year. They feel they're most vulnerable. They're most beatable. So even without Roman, I think we might agree on this.
Is that true?
I think so.
Oh, so you thought I was going the other way.
I thought you were going to say one and done, yeah.
Okay, I thought you were going to preach the power of Roman Anthony, whom you love so much.
I do love Roman Anthony so much, and rightfully so. I think if you had told me that Roman's coming back for the division series, then I would have been very confidently, yeah. Like, I think that this team can get to the World Series if he comes back. But I'm not confident that we're going to see him again. I'm really not.
Looks like the two hosts are arguing the same point. They're very loud and very, very angry.
Okay, that happens sometimes. I just assumed that Jared was going to say that the Red Sox can't get to the LCS without Roman Anthony. I think they can. Now, Jared, your point's a good one. I look at the American League, and tell me whether or not you agree. I suspect that you do, given that we're in a similar stance on this. But I look at the American League and I say, they're all flawed. All of them. The only team in the American League that I look at and say, you know what, they're actually pretty good.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seattle's playing well. Seattle's got the guy who should be the MVP of the league in Cal Raleigh. They have good pitching. They added at the deadline and deep
good
in
bullpen.
Deep in their lineup. Their pitching's good up and down. I mean, their whole staff is good, which makes them a scary team. The only real negative thing I can say about the Mariners is that they've never won. There's a lot of pressure in that city for the team to finally win one. And, they've been good the last few years. They obviously made an effort to get even further this year in the playoffs by going out and making some of the pickups they've made. So there's pressure on that team. But so what? I mean, they're good and they look like they can handle it. If you were to ask me to bet on one team in the American League to get to the World Series, I would bet the Mariners. But if Toronto and New York both get in, and one of those teams ends up with the best record in the American League, and right now that's the way it is. Seattle's one game behind both Toronto and New York, who are tied in the American League East. If New York or Toronto finishes with the best record, the Red Sox path is going to be Toronto, New York, or New York, Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
They can beat both of those teams.
I would agree with you.
Okay. So you agree the only team that is... and I would say significantly or noticeably better on paper is Seattle.
Yes, but I don't want to just gloss right over Cleveland. Like, they shouldn't scare you because of the way that they've performed all season long, but they're Colorado Rockies 2007.
Okay, so they're hot.
Yeah, they're hot.
Are they better than you?
No.
They have a negative run differential.
I know that. I know.
Okay, you can beat Cleveland. You don't think they can beat the Indians, Guardians?
I'm not saying I don't think they can. I'm just saying I think that you would be naive to look at their overall season, the overall statistics, and be like, oh, that's an easy one. It won't be because of how hot they are right
None
now.
of them are going to be easy because the Red Sox aren't that good.
And that environment, I don't know if you recall, but 2016, I was there. It gets loud there. Like, their fans don't really show up a ton during the regular season. They show up for the playoffs, and it's loud. And it made a difference in that series in 2016. So, yeah, just because the overall season hasn't been fantastic for Cleveland, I still look at them as a series where that's not a gimme series whatsoever.
Okay, so I don't think any of them are gimme series, Jared. But this is sort of the whole point.
The Yankees, they suck.
Okay, but this is the whole point. All of these teams in the American League, with the exception of Seattle, throw them in a hat. They can all beat the other one at any given time. The Yankees just came in here and took 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox. So that happened too. They came in here and won 2 out of 3. Toronto owned the Red Sox for the majority of the year, and I understand the rosters are different. My only point from the very beginning has been the Red Sox are as good as anybody else, even without Roman Anthony. Between Garrett Crochet, their bullpen, you can throw Brian Bayo in there if you want, but Trevor Story, Alex Bregman, William Abreu, you have enough. You have enough to beat Toronto or New York or Cleveland, even the Astros without Yordan Alvarez and all the issues they have if they somehow end up in it, because there's all types of permutations still in play. Teams are going to be eliminated here as every day goes on. But the Red Sox can beat anybody in the field. They can also lose to anybody in the field. But when I say it that way, my point is they have every bit the same chance that Cleveland, New York, Toronto, Detroit, given the way they're falling apart. All those teams to me are in the same area. So this is entirely doable. Let me ask you one question more before we go to break. How do you think Red Sox fans are approaching this? Have you found Red Sox fans to be at all annoying or frustrating during this last process, these last couple of weeks, specifically since Anthony went down? Do you think that took hope out of Red Sox fans?
Yes, losing Roman, it's definitely killed a lot of optimism about the run that they could go on. But I think having accepted that, like once you get past the sadness and depression of that and you move on to the acceptance part of your emotional roller coaster, I think you can look at this playoff run and say, this is found money. You know, like I think we've been talking about this for the last 2-3 years. With the young players that are on this team, I just want to get in. I know that sounds pathetic and it's a complete departure from what the expectations have been in this market for the last 20 years, but I just want to get in and we'll see what happens. And maybe Roman turns a corner and he is available for the division series, the LCS, if they can get that far. But as far as, you know, if they were to lose in the wild card series or the division series, am I going to be like, what a waste of a season? You know, we come all this way just to lose in one of the first couple rounds here. No, I don't think I would. I don't think I would walk away from the season feeling that way. I would say, hey, when they had Roman Anthony, they were one of the best teams in the American League, and without him, it's a completely different team, much like the Mariners would be without Cal Raleigh, much like the Yankees would be without Aaron Judge. It's okay to say that your playoff hopes and championship aspirations depend on one individual. I know it's very much a team sport. You look at A-Rod with the Rangers. Yeah, one guy can't make all the difference if the rest of the team sucks. But if your team is good enough and you have a stud player like that, it does make all the difference. So it is okay to say, without Roman, yeah, we didn't have our best, but he's locked in for the future financially, and you're about to open up a window where you can go on a run for the next several years. Like, that's why if it's a quick exit, fine, whatever. We'll see you in 2026, 27, 28, 29, 30. Like, we're good. I'm not worried about it.
Okay, see, we do disagree, because I would tell you it depends on how they lose. If they get in and they blow the series and it has nothing to do with Roman Anthony, you should be frustrated. And I don't know, I can't tell you how it's going to go down, but what I'm telling you is when they get into these series, they can win them.
Give me an example. What's an unacceptable way for them to get eliminated? Bad defense?
Yeah.
I mean, that's been the story all year.
Okay, but so that makes it okay?
No, I'm not saying it would be okay, but...
Hasn't that frustrated you, the fact that they make stupid mistakes?
Sure.
So what if they fail to do little things? What if they make base running mistakes, strike out with less than 2 outs and men in scoring position? And
I will go as far as to guarantee those things will happen.
Okay.
Someone's going to get picked off. Someone is going to go to take an extra base and be out by a mile. Someone is going to make a defensive miscue that does lead to a run or two. Someone is going to punch out with the bases loaded. Like, that's going to happen. That's been this team's DNA all along.
Okay, and yet they have won basically 88 games, and they're in the playoffs.
Yep.
So why can't they keep winning that way?
They can.
All I'm saying is let's not. Yeah, but now you're talking about a scenario in which if they lose, that everything's fine, no matter what happens.
No, I think that if they do lose and it's based on mental errors and mistakes and things of that nature, you can point to that and maybe address that in the offseason. You can't say, let's run it back with the same group and, making all these mistakes. It's perfectly fine. It's not fine. But I don't know. The way that they played, I know it's crazy to say, but when Roman showed up, it corrected a lot of things that Roman had nothing to do with. It was just everyone was playing more confidently. Because I think when the season started, a lot of them were sitting there saying, I don't know what kind of team we have until Roman gets here. And then when he got there, they started winning. Everyone played more loose. And then when he went down, I think we had the conversation that same week on the show. Alex Bregman stood in front of his locker in his clubhouse, and he sounded like his dog died. And that permeates throughout the room. So if that guy, who's been only in his entire career, has never missed the playoffs, if he sounds like that, then kind of worried here. If he doesn't believe that we can do it without Roman, then why should I believe him? I think that had an effect. So yeah, I'm not going to make an excuse if they end up getting eliminated from the postseason because Bayo and Giolito go out there and get shelled. That has nothing to do with Roman Anthony. That's something that you have to address at a later point.
Okay, and I'm just saying that you have a right to be frustrated by that if you're an onlooker or a fan. That because what you just described tells me that it's psychological and emotional. That Roman Anthony gives them some sort of intangible benefit aside from the bad. And that when he's not around, all of a sudden they turn into a stupid team again? To me, how does that happen? Then they need to get mentally tougher. They need to understand what it takes to win.
You know how they get mentally tougher, Tony?
How?
They get in and they lose.
Okay, so maybe. All I'm saying is max out. I say this about every team every year, whatever that is. Max out. Give me the absolute maximum. With this team, I wouldn't have said World Series. I've gone way too long as it is. We'll take a break here. We'll come back. We'll take some calls. And Jared said something in the last little bit that I want to follow up on regarding Roman Anthony. And I think he may have some inside information. So we'll ask him. He may not. I don't know. But we'll find out.
I would say he usually does. Jared's problem is he's too early on it.
We'll find out. We'll find out when we come back.
It doesn't feel like it. I know Cora put the LCS timetable on it, and I think even before that, I think when he originally got hurt and they gave us the timetable, I was hoping for DS. Like we were looking at, is he going to be back for the playoffs? Can he make it for the wild card series? And then Cora early on put LCS on the table. I think his thought process was probably, we're hoping he can be back for the wild card, but let's extend it out so that if he comes back sooner, then he looks like a hero. I think he was trying to set him up for that situation, but I think it was a couple of weeks ago, talking to some folks, and they were like, yeah, I mean, he's kind of still as sore now as he was when he got hurt. So, but I mean, it's been a couple of weeks since I heard that. So, maybe he's feeling better. I don't know. I haven't talked to him, but hearing that, I was like, that doesn't sound like he's going to be back at all. But so the other thing that kind of made me...
So go ahead. Go.
The other thing that made me feel a little bit discouraged was, I want to say the timetable was what, 4 to 6?
Correct.
I talked to Will Middlebrooks in the dugout for... I think it was like last Sunday, the last Sunday that the Red Sox were home, whoever that was in town, the A's maybe, I can't remember. But he was talking about it, and in my mind, I was like, well, Roman's 21, so I think he's going to heal faster than your average athlete. And Will said, I have the same injury when I was in high A, so I'm assuming around the same age, 21, and he said it took all of 8 weeks for me to recover and feel better again.
So when it happened, I thought 8 to 12 in my head.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it can be a half-season injury.
A true grade 2.
Yeah, it can be a half-season injury if it's bad. And, I mean, there have been guys who've missed half seasons with it, is what I'm telling you. Now, the reason I ask you the question is because in the last few days, it feels to me like there's more pessimism about him playing at all.
Yeah.
And I think some of that is because of the comments Breslow had the other night, but it doesn't sound like right now that he's very close.
What'd Breslow say?
He basically said he's still sore. He's not doing baseball things yet. And the way Ian Brown mentioned it to the other night, that it was going to still be, at the end of next week at the earliest. And that's assuming everything goes fine. I'm telling you, I thought 4 to 6 at the beginning was optimistic.
Honestly, is it crazy for me to say that I would want him in there just as almost like a guy that can, like draw walks? Like he can play defense. I'm assuming. I don't know about throwing, but like just be out there, play defense, and be able to be a guy that knows the zone and can draw some walks. And then I guess I don't know. Like you would have all season, all off season to heal. Is that being selfish?
No.
Can I just load him up on Toradol?
Yes.
And just see what happens?
Yes.
I don't know.
Even if it's not Toradol, whatever it is, shoot him up.
Toradol is, I mean, have you ever taken Toradol?
No.
Oh, man. If you are feeling any type of pain and they give you that stuff, it's just like instant, like pain's gone. And baseball players will use it all the time. So I'm just saying, like I don't know where he's at on the pain scale. I've never had that injury before. If it's not something that requires surgery, can we get him to like 65% health and then go with the Toradol and then just be I don't need you out there hacking for homers, even if you're just out there drawing walks,
signals and walks.
Please
take it.
Yeah.
40% of the time he gets on base. If he can give you something close to that, it's worth it. Kevin Majori will get you caught up on headlines. I've screwed up the clock here, so I'm going to try to get us back on the clock. Kevin Majori will get you. And we didn't hear from many fans early in the Felger and Maz show yesterday. I said, you know what? Red Sox fans suck now. Seriously, you suck. I said that. This is what I said yesterday. Team has a good win, but because Roman Anthony got hurt, all of a sudden nobody wants to try for the playoffs. And what difference does it make? We can't win the championship, so what good does it do? This whole sort of spoiled brat attitude where if I can't get the Porsche, I don't want a car. Okay, like it's that kind of mentality went right up my ass. And I play the Yoshida highlight because Yoshida wouldn't be in the lineup if Roman Anthony were here. He wouldn't be in there in all probability. Let's just say I'm making an easy swap. But the point is, he's an easy guy to look past and sit. He has sucked for the majority of the season. This is the biggest road trip they've had all year. Are they 4-1 now? They're 4-1 on this road trip. On this road trip, Yoshida's had a hit in every game. He's had 2 hits in each of the last 4 games on the trip. He's batting .391 with 1,069 OPS. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. When it gets to this stage of the year, it's about playing in the moment. It's not about big picture samples anymore. You're not making evaluations on what a guy can do over 162. It's what he can do on that night and in any given series and in any week. That's it. That's all that matters. Yoshida has been one of the best hitters in baseball on this road trip. Could that happen in the postseason? I don't know. Would I bet my house on it? Nope. But you never know. Now, would I bet on him to play like this an entire season? No way. But when you get into the small sample and everything becomes head-to-head, on that night, you can take your analytics and shove them.
Remember Todd Walker in 03?
Yes.
Just hit like 5 home runs in the division
Of
series out
course.
of nowhere.
Enrique Hernandez.
Yeah.
Against the Astros a couple of years ago, that postseason was ridiculous. Was as hot as any guy.
Bellhorn in 04.
Right. Happens over and over again. And oftentimes it's guys who come out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Just play. God. George, and the people who want to give up blow me away. George, go ahead, George. What do you got?
Well, I'm 79 years old, Tony. I saw great baseball. Now, I don't like people praising mediocre baseball. This is mediocre baseball because pitchers only can't even go 5 innings. It takes 4 or 5 pitches to win a ball game. And pitchers who go into the Hall of Fame with only 2.
I know all that stuff now. The game's different now. Do you think you can beat the other teams who do the same things?
They don't deserve to beat these teams.
And neither does anybody else.
That's what it comes down to. It's mediocre. I was saying the other day, if you got me the American League field of all the teams that made it into the playoffs, and you just picked a name out of a hat and said, this is the team that's going to the World Series, I'd be like, yeah, I could see that.
Definitely.
What other year can you say that that's a thing?
I can't remember many years like it, and I understand the point of view that the Red Sox don't feel like a championship team based on the other championship teams we've seen them have over the last 20 years. I get that. I understand that. This year, they don't have to be. The league sucks. And I'm not even sure.
Wrong.
And Jared, I'm not even sure how good the National League is.
Oh, they're good.
Are they?
Yeah. The Phillies?
Okay, the Phillies I think are good. They lost Wheeler.
Okay, but they still have, they still have a strong, I guess I wouldn't call them a 3-headed monster, but they still have a strong rotation without Wheeler. Okay,
so I think the National League's better than the American League.
The Dodgers are the Dodgers.
But the AL...
The Padres are good. You saw their bullpen.
I love the Padres.
Yeah, their bullpen is very scary.
I bet on the Padres 2 months ago.
The Cubs are better than I feel like you're probably giving them credit for, and they're not even the division winner. You have to go look at the Brewers. The Brewers, they kicked your ass too.
Okay, so, but again, let's stick to the American League then.
Okay.
It's doable.
It's very doable.
Steve and Charlotte. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, so you just talked about the Massa home run. Now, my question would be, would you much rather going into the playoffs have a contact-heavy like Red Sox lineup or a Yankees home run lineup?
Okay, good question. Which one would you rather have, Jared?
I would rather have the contact because
Me too.
I think we've seen time and time again the Yankees trot out these lineups in the regular season that hit a ton of home runs, and then they get to the postseason where you're facing a ton of great pitching. And if you're a team that relies on the long ball, which the Yankees have once again this year, I believe they're number one in baseball in home run percentage. It's not a recipe for success. You have your power hitters, like sure, Stanton was great in the postseason. He has been traditionally, but then you see these guys like Aaron Judge, they go completely cold. Not saying that he's only a home run guy, but he heavily relies on homers, and a lot of these Yankee lineups do. So I would rather have a team. I'm not saying like I would rather be the Guardians than the Yankees because that's the extreme example. Like the Guardians put the ball in play and they're very pesky, and the Yankees had a lot of home runs, but it's not. It doesn't translate well in the postseason if that's your A game, is we need to out-homer the team that we're playing.
Years ago, and again, I know the game has changed, but years ago it used to be better pitching in the postseason, the ball doesn't fly, you got to put the ball in play. You got to put it in play. Hard to hit the win with just home runs in the postseason. Alan in Florida. Alan, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to tell you, Maz, I didn't want to talk about this, but the most overrated team in baseball are the San Diego Padres. A bunch of losers on that team. Anyway,
right, yeah.
they got a great bullpen, but after the first three guys in the lineup, they have nothing. Anyway, I'm curious. Right now, by the way, since April, I've been telling you, since before the season started, how horrible the American League was going to be. Now, wouldn't I like to see the Red Sox? I want them to be the third seed. I'll tell you why. Then they'll go to Cleveland. Am I correct in stating this right now? This is the way it stands right now. If they're the number 3 seed, they'll go play Cleveland, and they can beat them in 2 games easily, as far as I'm concerned. Then,
so you mean, Alan, stop. I'm gonna let you go just because I got other people. But when you say the number 3 seed, I think you mean the third wild card. I think.
Yeah, because that would make them the division winner if they were the 3 seed.
Okay, so I think he means the third wild card, which would have them play the division winner with the worst record, right? And you'd potentially get Cleveland. Is that what he means?
Yeah.
Would you rather play Cleveland?
No. I'd rather go through New York and Toronto.
So would I, actually. I think I'd rather play in the American League East. Known commodities. Dan in Reading on something I said yesterday or tonight. Go ahead, Dan.
How you doing, Maz? So the only issue I have, and I like your take on most of the stuff, but when management didn't do anything at the trade deadline, it's really hard to get invested with a team for the playoffs when they didn't get invested in themselves. So that's the only issue I have.
Okay.
I think that.
Go ahead.
So I just think it's hard. Do I think that playoff baseball is good for this team? Absolutely, but it also is kind of underwhelming in the sense that management really didn't stand up for their own team, so it's hard for an invested fan to do the thing.
Yeah, so go ahead.
I got something for you, Dan. So I get it. You make a great point. I level with you. It was also very frustrating for me to see the Red Sox not really do anything, especially in the bullpen. You didn't even add a right-handed reliever. But here's my thought process. So just because they had a poor trade deadline doesn't mean that you should abandon the players. It's not the players' fault. They've been playing their ass off for 160 games now. And
Jared, I let him go, but go ahead with this point.
So you've gotten to a point now where you're going to make the playoffs for the first time in 4 years, and it took everybody. I mean, Roman was the standout guy, but he's not here now, and he wasn't here in the beginning. This has been a team effort to get back to the postseason. I can't hold a bad trade deadline against the guys that are in the clubhouse right now. They've earned our support, especially because for a little while, like September looked shaky, but they're still going to get in. Like they didn't collapse.
So this is the one that sent me over the edge. His take, and I say his take, he's a perfectly nice guy. His perspective, though, irritates me because I look at it this way. So he watches just to hate ownership. That's why you watch.
There's a lot of fans like that.
I know there are. And I like the games. When it gets to this stage, especially, you're in. Play the games. The goal is to win. It doesn't matter if you're right.
The fans that I hate, and I'm sure you get this too, Tony, are the ones that are like, you have a platform. It's your responsibility to call out ownership because you can be the voice of change around here. And if you stay silent, then you're complicit and you're part of the problem. I'm not part of the problem. I just kind of sit here and watch baseball games and hope that the Red Sox win. That's my role in all this, and then I talk about it after. I don't like the fans that just watch to either be proven wrong if they win. It's like, whatever, if they got lucky, or if they're bad, then it's like, oh, I was right, and F ownership and this and that. Like, that has to be a miserable fan existence.
Well, and at some point, don't you want to win?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that the goal?
Yeah.
You put winning first. It's more important to win.
Right.
And if Roman Anthony, let's just say they can win a round or two and then Roman Anthony comes back, take your chances. What's wrong with that? Whether you believe it or not is irrelevant. Dan on Route 20. Dan, what do you got? Quickly.
Hey, how you doing? I heard you guys earlier say that baseball was down on the other show, so I was confused when I heard him say, National League is good. I think if the Brewers are the top team in baseball, I agree with Felger earlier, baseball is down, and whoever wins this year the World Series might be the worst World Series winner in the last 10 years. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
So, Dan, it might be, but does that matter? I mean, at the end of the day, they put your name in as the World Series winner. Your city will have a parade. There'll be a huge celebration, and you get to raise another banner. What do you have to give it back?
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's still the World Series. Like, look at the Cardinals in 2006. What did they win? Like 80.
I think it was 82 games.
Yeah.
82 or 83.
I think it was 83.
Right.
Yeah, I think they were game over 500 or something like that. They won the World Series. But, yeah, I mean, if it's the Phillies, that's a legit championship, and it's also a great story. They started this arc in 2022, and they brought in Bryce Harper, and they kept adding players, and Schwarber and all these guys. They re-signed Nola, the injury to Zach Wheeler, and Dave Dombrowski. He goes to another market to win a championship in a big market. Like, there's still... Yeah, there's definitely mediocre teams that are going to be out there, but it is what it is.
They went 83 and 78 that year.
Yeah.
And they won the World Series. John is in a car. John, go ahead.
You kind of stole my thunder, Tony, with the mediocrity. I mean, St. Louis won 80. They got it on the last day. Nobody cares now. That was, 15 years ago, when the Kings won the Stanley Cup as an 8 seed. Nobody cared. How many college basketball teams won it as a 7 seed in the tournament? You all start 0-0. So who cares how you got there? And not for nothing, the Red Sox are ripping it on the road right now. They're 15-5 in their last 20? Let them start on the road. I don't care where they start. They're in. They deserve to be in. They deserve everybody's. They can show their ass to everybody because the whole city thought that they sucked for the first half of the season, and they did. But that's why baseball's great. It's a 6-month season. There's plenty of time to right the ship, and they deserve some sort of respect for getting where they are now.
Absolutely. Just keep playing. They're pretty simple. Just keep playing. Like this idea of, we're not going anywhere. Yeah, it doesn't matter. All right, then don't watch. What do you watch for? Good grief. Antoine in Toronto. What do you got?
Hey, guys. Mr. B here. So my question is, get a chip in a chair, chip in a place, and you just get into the playoffs. But my question is, so the Jays have seen our top 3 pitchers this past week. Are you guys afraid or worried that they're going to know what's coming next week if we're playing the Jays again?
Okay, should you worry about that, Jared?
No, I mean, especially with Crochet. Like, he's seen the Yankees like 4 or 5 times. Like, he just rolls out there and dominates. It really doesn't matter. At least I'm just saying for Crochet's purposes.
I think this is the 3rd time he's pitched against Toronto. Last night was.
Yeah, but he faced them in like April. So I'm not overly concerned about it. I think normally, I think the scouting departments are so advanced now that they're going to look at what sequences they went with. They're going to look at approaches, and they're going to change stuff up.
Well, and the other thing is, let's just look at, and I know the timing's not exactly the same, but you just saw Gossman. Kevin Gossman pitched against you the other night. If you faced him, you're going to see him again next week. What do you think? You're not going to see him? It works both ways.
Yeah.
And Gossman has faced the Red Sox, I think, now 13 times since he went to Toronto.
Well, he dominates.
He kicks their ass almost every time. They've had a couple of good games against him. Last night qualifies as a good game.
Sure.
They had one where they put up 8 runs against him. But Gossman's owned your ass. It can go the other way, too. That guy goes out to the mound, and the hitters are looking at him going, we can't touch this guy.
Also, Bassett's hurt, and they just put Barrios on the IL. So, you're going to roll out there with Gossman and Bieber?
Take your chances.
Yeah.
Again, they're as messed up as you are. Maybe worse. Matt's in Manchester. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, I'm kind of like on the opposite side here. If you think about it with the trade deadline, out of all the guys that got traded, who would really be helping this Red Sox team anyway? I mean, obviously you missed out on like Ryan, but he didn't get dealt. I mean, other than Suarez and Naylor, no one really is doing anything. Laureano maybe a little in San Diego. And then the other thing real quick. Matt,
I'm going to let you go there just because we're up against it.
Suarez has sucked since he got traded, too.
So I was going to ask you, what about Grady Jack? Not Grady. Griffin Jacks.
Griffin Jacks.
Griffin Jacks.
He would have helped, yeah. Righty reliever. Yeah, that would have been nice.
I mean, has he been okay in Tampa?
Yeah.
So, again, that's a guy that I think the Red Sox should have been in on and should have gotten.
But in terms of like a big name that moved at the deadline, I don't think that there was someone that they could have fit into their line. I mean, Nathaniel Lowe. Like, that was the guy that, what was his name? I don't know. Some idiot writer was like, yeah, they should trade Peyton Tolle for Nathaniel Lowe. They just waited out, got him for free. So yeah, I mean, we don't put Lowe in the trade deadline acquisition pool, and we shouldn't because he wasn't part of that. But you did end up with him, and he has helped you tremendously.
He has helped. He had a couple of big hits early on, in particular. So I just don't understand the defeatist mentality. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I understand people get frustrated, but I also believe in keeping the bigger picture in view, and the bigger picture is. The goal is to win. This is the part where I get lost, Jared. Mm-hmm. And I say I get lost. Maybe the listeners get lost or the fans get lost. You get so infuriated with the stuff that's going on with ownership or the manager, or you can't see the forest through the trees, which is just win the freaking game. Now, that doesn't mean the other stuff is not worth talking about, or that it isn't frustrating, or that it can't bite you ass and prevent you from going where you ultimately want to go. But when you get to this time of year, see, baseball is a big picture sport. We all know that. But when you get to this stage of the year, it's day to day, man. You're playing one game at a time. And I know that's a cliche, but that's why they spew it during the year, because at this time of year, it's easy to focus just on the one game. Unless it isn't, because you're consumed by something ridiculous. All right, I get that off my chest.
You feel good, Tony?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
All right.
It's been 4 years since playoff baseball. Now it's sitting here and they're not going to go anywhere anyway. Just play the freaking games. See what happens. Holy crap.
I love this new leaf that you've turned, being the positive voice in this city.
Listen, I play to the situation.
Good old pom-pom Tony.
When it's April, May, and June, it's about the bigger picture. When you get to this time of year, it's about winning the game. That's what it's about. I play to the situation. So there you go, Jared. This is a little lesson for you.
Thank you. Your wisdom is it's tremendously valuable to me.
So if they make the playoffs, and we all presume they will, are you going to be with us during the postseason?
Yes. So I will be with you, but probably remote because we're going to have to live stream all the games. So I will be in my closet doing the show and then popping out to do some live streams.
Okay, no, I understand. You're pulling the Chris Gasper approach, and you're going to too good to come into the studio.
You know what? Maybe I will come in, Tony.
No, I'm joking.
No, maybe I will.
It's fine. You get another job. So does Gasper, for that matter. But, anyway. It was really just a way for me to take a shot at Gasper. Kevin Majorial will have your headlines here momentarily. Joe Murray.